Brian Palavai run far, who had Aliza Lapierre before the 2016 Western States 100. Welcome back, Aliza.
Thanks, Brian. Nice to be back.
I mean, you're always here, it seems like. You've had a good run of things at Western States. A couple thirds, a fourth, a sixth, something like that.
Some variants, yeah.
Some meaning very little. What do you think you owe your consistency at this race?
I think to my coach. He's a very wise man. And I think, 9 times out of 10 at this race, I've stuck to my own race and really focusing on what I can do and not trying to run somebody else's race. So I think it comes down to just being patient and staying within myself.
Where have you not stuck to your own race? And where have you maybe gotten carried away?
Yeah, I think, it's hard to go out really easy and not get wrapped up in that first climb and feel like you need to, be in the top 3 or 4 at the top of the escarpment. It's like you can't panic. There's so many miles and so much can happen that, I try to just take the first 80 miles, quote unquote, easy and feel like I'm just out training and then see what's left in the tank.
Even though you run your own race, I've witnessed out there you kind of like joining up with some people. It seemed like having fun. Is that part of?
Oh, definitely.
How you've adapted?
I've definitely enjoyed many miles with Rory and Nikki. And last year was Casey and Nicole, and it just turns into us chatting and supporting each other and encouraging each other, and it just feels like a fun day in the mountains with some spectators and crews and stuff. And I think the more relaxed I can feel, the better I run.
Now, why do you keep coming back? Because you performed so well so many times here. Like what?
Yeah, I think every time I've crossed the line, I've felt like I haven't performed up to my potential. I know that no day is really going to be perfect, but I've always kind of been held back by some sort of glitch. Whether, the first year it was 30 miles of snow. I took a spill early on. Last year it was my stomach. I started throwing up right after Green Gate. So went from 3rd to 4th and really was limited by my stomach and how hard I could run. So I've yet to really feel like I've done what I could do.
And have you had that experience in other ultras?
No. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I mean, sometimes I've raced and I've been like, I feel good not wanting to go back to that race, but this is a great event. This is where it all started, and for me, it's a family affair. My mom and stepdad come, my husband's here. You get to see a lot of my sponsors, and you get to race against the best in the world. So it's just, that part is definitely a draw as well.
Now, it's interesting because knowing you pretty well, you maybe in leading up to Western States, you tend to choose sort of more low-key races. This year you were at the Trap Rock 50K and Miwok 100K, and you had good runs there, but it's kind of a contrast from that to, just saying like, this is super competitive, it's like the big race.
Yeah.
Why that dichotomy? Like, why do you?
Yeah. So I think this year my schedule was kind of determined by my work schedule. I really want to do Lake Sonoma one year, but this year that coincided with the Vermont City Marathon. Nope, that's not right. Didn't coincide with Vermont City Marathon. Another big event that we put on. And then lotteries and deadlines and the World Tour kind of dictated that I didn't apply for other things. So I ended up doing a local 50K and then was lucky enough to get into Miwok, which has always been on my bucket list. So I was really excited to have that opportunity.
And both those races went pretty well, yeah? Yeah,
they both went pretty well. Miwok ended up being kind of overcast and cold, which I think for me was a blessing because I was not heat trained at all. But yeah, Tia puts on a great race and it was fun to meet Bree and have a chance to run with her, and so it was nice.
You did manage to get a little heat training in a race in your first road marathon in a while.
Yeah.
How was the Vermont City Marathon?
It was a gift to be able to run that. I now work for them, so I got to race and then work afterwards. So I went into it as a training run. I think We were aiming for 310, 315, sort of just a good supported effort out there, and ended up being pretty hot, and ran 307 comfortably, and then they canceled the race around the 4-hour mark. So all in all, it was a good day. It was good to be out running the streets of Burlington, which is where I grew up, and to see not only what goes into making the event, but to run it and have both perspectives.
And it sounds like what some, trail runners might not necessarily think. Like, you had a really good time.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I kind of took my trail attitude onto the roads, and definitely turned some heads when I was running side to side, giving high fives and cheering competitors on, and I had my trucker hat on and my trail shoes, and I went down the finish chute and I was doing the airplane, and people were like, "Where did you get that from? Like, I've never seen that before." And I was like, "Well, that's trail running. Like, we go out and have fun and support each other, and yeah."
So you feel fit?
Let's go to the past. Next question.
Next question. What is it going to take for you to take another step up here at this race?
I think for me, the focus this year has been really letting go or trying to dismiss the negative self-talk. Not going in thinking, oh, I can't keep up with the Bagdas or the Caseys or, the people who are predicted to win. I need to go out there and say, I deserve to be here, and I can run with these girls, and just take it one step at a time and have fun and just see what happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
One sort of change you've had this year is, I say this because it's pretty much my favorite thing to eat on the trail right now, and you're doing untapped energy, like maple syrup gels. I mean, it's maple syrup in a packet.
Yeah.
How did that happen? How did you come to that?
Yeah, well, I train on a lot of the trails where these guys sugar, the Cochran's family, and it's been pretty neat to see their company take off and expand. And they used to just sell it commercially and bottle it under the name of Slopeside Syrup, and now Untapped has come about, and they make waffles and then also just one serving syrup packets, and it just kind of seemed logical that I'm training there, and I like natural fuel, and so they asked me to give it a try, and so I've been experimenting with it, and it's just good, clean energy and gives you a good boost, and you don't have to have water with it or anything. So yeah, it's been working well.
Yeah, I mean, having taken all sorts of gels over the years, it's the one that, I can take more than one. Like, I can suck down a goo or a Cliff Shot without water, but if it's much more than that.
Yeah, so I've found that I can just eat it straight up and not have to chase it with water or worry about my stomach turning and cramping. So yeah, it's definitely going to play a part of my race, and I like to start my mornings with some pancakes and maple syrup, and we found in our house that you really can't have too much syrup.
Are you going to be guzzling from any Slopeside Syrup jugs during the race?
Just packets. I want to go a little lighter.
I think that's my dream during Hard Rock, is just to have
a bladder full of.
I haven't even thought about the bladder. I was just thinking of hitting a jug at the aid station, but yeah, a little half-liter bladder. Go hummingbird for the race. So you said you brought some sort of the trail spirit to the Vermont City Marathon. How do you think you'll more outwardly express maybe your fun side during Western States? If you found that worked well for you there?
Yeah, I think I discovered last year it worked pretty well. I remember seeing JB out on the trail maybe 30 miles in, and I was doing the airplane around a corner, and he's like, "Whoa, like, you seem much happier and better than a lot of the other runners." So I think when I am just playful and kind of that humorous side comes out of me, I do best. Like, when Rory and I run together, it's a lot of bad jokes and bad singing, and just seems like if I can kind of lose myself in the idea of the race, like not feel like I'm racing necessarily for the first 80 miles, then it goes better than if I get all wrapped up in what position am I in, what are my splits, how far am I away from so-and-so, that just becomes really overwhelming. And then, around mile 80, the focus changes, and it's okay, game on, kind of get to work and be a little more focused.
Now, in those fun, playful moments, are they sort of by accident, or can you actively cultivate that?
No, I think it's just, it comes out in me and is influenced by the people around me, Last year, sharing miles with Casey, we definitely had some serious conversations and then some fun conversations, and it just, we go with the flow and whatever happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good luck out there, and I hope you have
Thanks.
a fun time out on the trail.
Thank you. I hope you do too.
Yeah. I think we should fly out of here.
I kind of did a hopping fly.
There we go.
Awesome.
I think people really underestimate the airplane technique in turning on trails.
Oh, no, like, especially if it's like a banked turn.
I've been experimenting with that on the Hard Rock course,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's good.
yeah,
It helps you lean into it.
helps you lean into it, and your spirits soar, as it were.
It's very underrated, I tell you.